Welcome to Fertility and Wellness Podcast. Are you tired of seeing that test be negative month after month? Will you ever stop having to take test after test? Are you scared of all the medical terminology, office visits, and misinformation you see at every turn on your infertility journey? If you answer yes to any of those, you're not alone. You are at the right place. I'm so happy you're here with us. My name is Arianna. I'm a fertility care practitioner and a wellness coach with over a decade of experience on the field. I created this podcast because I know what it is to feel alone and lost while navigating fertility problems. And after helping hundreds of women, teaching them how to not protract their cycles, boost their fertility, and navigate their monthly emotional roller coaster and get pregnant naturally, I am on a mission to empower women to take charge of their fertility journey. In this podcast, you will find heartfelt conversations, education, tips on how to take care of and understand your fertility, emotional support, simple lifestyle changes to boost your fertility, nutrition, self-care routines, tips for handling stress and anxiety with ease. We have amazing, exciting expert interviews and guests, inspirational stories, and practical advice on preparing for pregnancy and joyful delivery. Are you ready to reclaim your health, your life, and become pregnant naturally? If so, grab your green juice and prenatal vitamins. This episode is just what the doctor ordered. Back to Fertility and Wellness Podcast, where we explore reproductive health, education, and the journey to wholeness. I'm Arianna, your expert and guide. If you're here today, chances is that you're feeling frustrated or disheartened in the fertility journey. But what if I told you that beyond the physical struggles, there are invisible forces that could be making the journey even harder? In today's episode, we'll uncover the 5 poisonous P's: power, possession, perfection, prestige, and popularity, and how these toxic patterns can affect not only your fertility, but also your self-worth, your relationships, and even your marriage. The road to conception can be filled with physical, emotional, and mental challenges. And I know how isolating it can feel, but you're not alone. Today, I want to talk about 5 obstacles that may be secretly sabotaging your journey, the 5 poisonous P's. This pattern not only showing your fertility struggles, but they can also seep into other areas of your life, affecting how you see yourself, your interactions with others, and even the health of your relationships. I once worked with a client, Sheila, who was a successful businesswoman. She was used to having control over every aspect of her life: career, finances, relationships. But when she hit a roadblock in her fertility journey, she felt utterly powerless. No matter how much she tried to control her cycle or perfect her diet, she couldn't force the outcome she wanted. This need for power or control can show up as an obsession in managing every detail. But here's the thing, it's exhausting. Not only does it affect your fertility, but it also puts immense pressure on your relationships. You might find yourself feeling disconnected from your partner or becoming increasingly frustrated with yourself when things don't go as planned. The solution is to let go of the need to control and work with your body. Real power comes from surrendering to the process. And by doing so, you not only ease the fertility struggle, but also create more space for intimacy and support in your relationship. Next, let's explore how the pressure to keep up with the material possessions adds another layer of stress. Possessions. This one might seem a bit strange in the context of fertility, but it shows in subtle ways. Think about it. You scroll to social media, seeing other people's pregnancy announcements, baby showers, and carefully curated nurseries. You start comparing yourself to those images, and suddenly it feels like you're lacking. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy, not just in terms of fertility, but in your overall sense of self-worth. This comparison game can spill over into your marriage. You might feel like you're falling short in some way, and that can create distance or tension with your spouse. You start to think, if I only have what they have, maybe things will be different. But here's the truth. Material things don't define your worth or your journey. What matters most is the emotional and physical well-being you're cultivating. Instead of focusing on what others have, tune into your own body needs and embrace where you are in your unique path. This brings us to another harmful mindset, perfection. I had another client, Jessica, who was a classic perfectionist. Every detail of her fertility plan was immaculate. Her diet, her exercise, her supplements. But the constant need to be perfect was taking a toll. The stress of trying to get everything right was affecting her emotionally and physically, and it was starting to show in her marriage as well. Perfectionism can be incredibly toxic. Not only does it create unrealistic expectations for yourself, but also places a strain on your relationships. When things don't go according to your plan, you may become self-critical or project that frustration onto your partner. The quest for perfection can rob you of the joy in your relationship and even diminish the connection with your body. The key is to embrace progress, not perfection. Fertility is not a linear process, and your worth is not defined by getting everything right. By releasing the need of perfection, you create room for compassion, both for yourself and for your spouse. After perfection, we must consider the impact of prestige and how our external image can become another burden. For many of us, maintaining prestige or the appearance of having everything together becomes as a silent struggle. This often shows as a fear of vulnerability. You may hesitate to ask for help because you don't want to be seen as weak. Or you might try to maintain the image of being successful and put together by silently struggling with the fertility journey. This can place a wall between you and your loved ones. You might feel like you need to hide your struggles from your spouse or avoid leaning into your support system because you don't want to tarnish the image of having it all together. But here's the thing. True strength comes from vulnerability. When you let down your guard and ask for help, you invite connections. Seeking support from your partner, friends, or a professional like me doesn't diminish your prestige. It deepens your relationships and opens the door for healing. And finally, let's touch on how the desire to be popular can show up in unexpected ways. In today's social media-driven world, we often chase validation. You might find yourself sharing parts of your fertility journey online, hoping for encouragement or understanding. But at the same time, you may be afraid of judgment. You might also feel isolated when the feedback isn't what you expected. This quest for popularity, for external validation, can erode your self-worth. You begin to measure your value by the reactions of others instead of turning into your own need. And in your relationship, this need for external approval can create distance, as your focus shifts away from the bond you have with your partner to what others think. Instead of looking for outward approval, cultivate a deep sense for self-worth from within. Focus on the relationships that matter, the ones that bring you real support, especially your spouse. When you're grounded in your own value, opinions of others matter less, and your relationship will grow stronger as a result. So how do we free ourselves from this poisonous pattern? It starts with embracing a growth mindset. Growth mindset means seeing the challenges as opportunities for growth rather than failures. In your fertility journey and in life, you're not stuck. You're evolving, learning, and moving forward. By letting go to the need, power, perfection, and external validation, you open yourself for healing and growth. When you adopt a growth mindset, your self-worth is no longer tied to the outcomes or external pressures. You become more compassionate towards yourself, and this compassion extends to your relationships. Instead of feeling defeated by your setbacks, you and your partner can approach the journey as a team, growing stronger together. So there you have it. 5 poisonous bees that might be affecting not just your fertility, but also your self-worth, your relationships, and even your marriage. But the good news is you have the power to shift your mindset and free yourself from these toxic patterns. Today's episode resonated with you. I invite you to subscribe and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. And if you want more personalized support on your fertility journey, head over to the notes for resources. I'm Arianna. And remember, your journey towards wholeness, fertility, and a stronger relationship is within reach.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, we got a special treat for you. Join our free Facebook group where you can connect with other amazing women and share your thoughts. Join us by clicking in the link in the show notes. We can't wait to welcome you into our supportive community. And don't forget to come back for our next episode, where we'll be sharing even more inspiring stories, encouraging tips, educational insights, and practical strategies. Oh, and before you go, we have a tiny favor to ask. If you found today's episode uplifting and helpful, please leave us a review. It's like giving us a virtual hug, and it helps other amazing women like you find our show. Plus, it makes us smile from ear to ear. And hey, why stop there? Share the love. Tell your Betsies, your mom, your sister, and even your favorite barista about our podcast. The more, the merrier.